GearNetwork.com.
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to Get Ready America. This is our pre-show, the first show of 2015. Dawn, how's it going?
I'm living the dream.
Living the dream, huh?
Living the dream.
And I just want to let everybody know that Dawn is responsible, and the commercial will air a little later, but she picked out the January song of the month that is returned.
You're welcome.
The song of the month. It's actually a really good one. So, but I'm not going to spoil it now, but I will say this, and I want to go ahead and instead of actually pushing you to go shop the Amazon page like I usually do, and I will be doing throughout the course of the podcast and various commercials or whatever, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you that have used the GearNetwork.com's Amazon page for your holiday shopping. It was a big month as far as the network was concerned with that. Amazon loved it, and we loved it, and your support has throughout the holiday season has definitely helped us upgrade a few things, and going forward, we're going to continue to upgrade things. We've really got a plan in motion here with gear, and we have you, the listeners, fans, friends, whoever, family, everybody, for your unbelievable support. From the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. This was a very happy holiday season for us. We hope it was a happy holiday season for you. Dawn, you thank everybody as well. It was a good time.
Don't tell me what to do.
Listen, I tell you what to do all the time.
If I want to thank them, I'll thank them.
Are you going to thank them?
Well, not now. You ruined the moment.
Nasty. But in all seriousness, again, the GearNetwork.com/Amazon. You guys use it. We use it. We bookmark it, we save it, we share it. We kindly ask you guys to do the same thing, and thank you very much for making 2014 a success. And with your partnership, we can make 2015 that much bigger.
We definitely need some more funds. Do you want to know why?
Why is that?
Okay, so you guys know we recently did an all-in podcast, right?
Yes, we did.
Well, Ryan had the coolest, thing that he could use as an armrest.
Oh, yes.
And the whole time he, had his arm resting up on this thing that held his microphone.
Oh, the
a microphone armrest.
Yeah, the microphone stand.
I want a microphone armrest. So I could rest my arm up on it while we talk, too.
I want one, too. I don't know that I'll be resting my arm on it like he did. But
I thought that was the point of it.
I guess it could be. I don't know.
Well,
I want one anyway just because it looked cool.
I mean, that's what I thought he used it for.
Is that what you use it for, Ryan?
I think so.
You knucklehead. All right, let's cue the music. This is a Gear Network production.
Coming to you live from the Gear Network studios in Rochester, New York, and broadcast worldwide on GearNetwork.com. This is Get Ready America.
And I got a whole lot of love from Led Zeppelin playing us in this week. From coast to coast, continent to continent, and border to border, from China to Canada, and all the way to your homes, wherever you are listening. This is GearNetwork.com. This is Get Ready America. Hello, everyone. I am John Cimino alongside my co-host, the DC to JCDC, Dawn. Say hello, Dawn.
Hello.
And as always, say hello louder, Dawn.
Hi.
There it is. This, as always, is sponsored by our Amazon page. Again, we thank you all for your patronage last month throughout the holiday season, and keep it going, please. We definitely appreciate the support. The easiest way to support this podcast, as well as the other podcasts on this network, with no mumbo jumbo, no extra cost to you. Amazon kicks a little something to us. It'll help us get us our cool little microphone stands that Dawn wants to go ahead and put her arm on. But we thank you. That is our sponsor for today's show. And on today's show, we are going to continue with our nothingness. We'll talk about our holidays. We'll talk about the All-In podcast. We'll get into a new segment, Dawn. We got a new segment. You know how Perez has his segment that he would, he first of all, on the All-In podcast, how he invented his own segment, saying hello to, who Perez says hello to or whatever that was.
I know. Well, he's not going to think it's so funny when he gets a case slapped against him for stalking.
Yeah. Hi, Taylor Swift. But in any event, that was me in my Marion Barry, Mr. Perez voice, saying hi to Taylor Swift as a play on that. But anyways, we're going to do a legit Get Ready America new segment, and it's called What Pisses John Off?
What doesn't?
We will find out.
Okay.
We will see. We'll run through a bunch of different things, and you know what? I'll share what pisses me off, and then maybe you can, like, ask some things, or maybe you, the listeners, if you wonder if something out there pisses me off, that it may piss you off. You want to know if I feel the same way? Go ahead and tweet it to me, or hit me up on the Facebook, or something. Get it to me, and we'll go ahead and we'll air it out. I think it'll be fun. I think at the very least funny.
I mean, that's like saying, who doesn't Dawn like?
Oh, geez,
the list is endless.
The list is endless. All right, so final show of 2014 was the Gear Network All-In podcast. It was by far our most popular podcast that we have. Our hits just keep on growing for that one. It is a very, very funny podcast, if I do say so myself. The Better Live Than Dead crew of Mr. Perez and Ryan Wolf, who, by the way, wanted me to let everybody know that he hates the program. He's very mad. The program that he uses to edit his podcast, like we use Goldwave, he uses Audacity, and Audacity keeps messing with him. It, like, chopped up his podcast, so he had to re-record it last week, and then this week he's having problems with it too, so he's going to switch to Goldwave. But for some reason or another, he wanted me to let you, Dawn, and let everybody know that he's very mad at Audacity.
Well, I'm sorry.
All right. There you go, Ryan. You've had your shine. Now, we got everybody together because it was the end of the year podcast, and we had so much fun in there with, originally it wasn't supposed to be Get Ready America. It was just supposed to be the Gear Network All-In podcast. And then what ended up happening was it somehow morphed into Get Ready America. Ryan kept referring to it leading up to it as Get Ready America, and kept posting, getting ready to podcast on Get Ready America, followed by Better Live Than Dead. So I figured, all right, well, we already had the mysterious voice, the mysterious dark voice, the Get Ready America, record the Gear Network All-In podcast thing. So that was kind of, weird, but we mixed it in. It worked out very well. But, Dawn, you and your personality shined on that podcast.
So you're saying that my personality doesn't shine every time.
Listen, and this is to Ryan Wolf's point at the very end when he was talking about the two people who shall remain nameless, and when Ryan posted something, mentioned something about it, Perez turned around and was like, so what you're saying is you don't like sex. Like, completely out of it. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm saying. I am not saying that your personality does not shine. I did not say that. I said your personality shined, and it shined a lot on that podcast. So, what did you think of the All-In podcast? Are you in favor of doing another one?
Well, I am, and I've told John numerous times, and I think the All-In podcast kind of proved the point where I really think, I don't want to say the more people the merrier, because it gets to a point where it's too much, but sometimes having like 3, 4, even 5 people here and there on a show, it adds something to it. It's a lot of different people. You're bouncing off, other people. It's fun. I enjoyed it.
Indeed. One of the thought processes when we began this show, Dawn, was that obviously the two of us were going to be the consistents. But a rotating third guest, every now and then, I think would keep the show spicy, keep the show fun, Spicy, that's right.
It's spicy with a guest. I don't know what John thinks we're doing with the guests, but I was just planning on talking.
Well, I know what I'm doing with you. Gonna reach over this counter right now.
Okay,
and,
hey. Family show.
It ain't a family show. What the hell are you? Who are you kidding? The intention was to be a family show, and then it just kind of spiraled with all the censors we now put in there. But oy vey. All right.
Anyways, so my point is, I think we'll have some special guests for you here and there. And we definitely will have to do another All-In podcast, in a couple months. Maybe we can make it a seasonal thing.
Something like that, a quarterly thing, a seasonal thing. I definitely want everybody in.
I mean, the seasons change 4 times a year, so
essentially, a genius you are. But I definitely want to do one in March, which will be the actual 1-year anniversary of the Gear Network. Mm-hmm. Think that would be good. Mark House, get your ass here for that one, because you were here in the beginning too.
Who?
Mark House.
Oh.
That damn bastard. And
Wow.
also too, the guy behind the scenes, Brandon the intern, he wants a shot on here. So
You're way behind the scenes.
a little way behind the scenes, yes, but he's been wanting a shot. He's been clamoring for. So Brandon the intern might be on a podcast every now and then. Yes, he's the intern. He is Brandon the intern. You're the executive producer. Mm-hmm. I'm the CEO because I created this thing, and Brandon's the intern. Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
So now that we have our labels set, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. When we come back, what pisses John off? Going to be a lot, but we'll try and condense it a little bit. This is Get Ready America here on the Gear Radio Network.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
Hey, podcast listeners. The January song of the month is picked by the Queen of Gear, Dawn Semino, is I'm Not the Only One by Sam Smith off of his album The Lonely Hour, and you can purchase that via our partnership with Amazon. Check this out. The song itself is only $1.99, but take my word for it, there's not a bad song on this album, and I went ahead and purchased the entire album, MP3, for just $6.99. That's right, $6.99. You can find this and other great songs, apps, and merchandise all through the Gear Network's Amazon page with no mumbo-jumbo, no additional charges, and no headaches. It's the easiest way to support this show that you're listening to, baby. Bookmark, save, and share the link, gearnetwork.com/Amazon.
This podcast is sponsored by gearnetwork.com/Amazon. Help keep our podcast free. Stop through Amazon. We thank you. Good night now.
From the Gear Network studios, once again, here's John and Dawn.
And welcome back to all of our listeners to Get Ready America. This is your host, Dawn Semino, and alongside me again is my co-host, John Semino.
I don't think they heard you, I think, because you speak so low.
Oh, they heard.
I don't think they
Yeah.
heard.
So now it's time to go into the brand new segment that we're going to kick off.
Kick off.
New Year.
Woo! Happy New Year!
What pisses John off?
What pisses me off? Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to share with you what pisses me off. And if you, the listeners, want to know if something irritates the hell out of me, go ahead, tweet it to me at TheJCMoney. Go to Facebook.com/TheJCMoney. Shoot me a message there. If it pisses me off, irritates me even mildly, maybe I'll have Dawn read it off. So, all right, what do we got so far?
Okay. So I'm going to ask you or bring up random situations that may or may not piss me off, and you can just tell me how you feel about them.
Sure.
Sound good?
I'm good with it. Let's roll with this.
So the first one, when people walk in the elevator before you've stepped out while you're waiting to get out and people just come walking in.
Man, that pisses me off. I really hate that because you know what? It's rude. It's rude. You're going in. I'm trying to get the hell out of there, and your fat ass is walking in there, and you're likely standing in the way because I usually stand, farther away from the door, so I'm trying to cut through and go to the door, but I can't if someone's fat ass is in my way, and they're walking in because they're king shit, because it's it's their elevator, it's their world, and everybody else is in it. But no, I can't get off the elevator. No, common courtesy. Get off the elevator. Let the person rather get off the elevator before you go on there. It takes literally like 2.5 seconds. Yes, that pisses me off.
Okay. People who write Facebook statuses directed at people who will never see the status. Example, dear Walmart shopper who came in yoga pants that were way too tight for you. Those kind of statuses.
I don't think that pisses me off if it's a once in a while thing, because I think it's kind of humorous. And I could see a joking aspect for it. But if it's an everyday thing where it's like, dear Walmart shopper, they came in yoga pants. Don't come in yoga pants. It's 5 degrees out and it's camel toe and it's nasty. And then like the next day, dear Wegman shopper, you dropped the apple on the ground and I tripped on it, you bastard.
There may or may not be somebody on my Facebook who does that on a daily basis.
If it's on a daily basis, that would irritate the shit.
Driver that cut me off today.
Yeah.
Guess what? They're not reading it.
Dear Facebook poster on Dawn's list that does this every day, you're a freaking loser.
Yeah, maybe it pisses me off. Okay, but it's not my segment, so I'm going to give you another one.
Go ahead.
When people tell you that money does not buy happiness.
Man, that really pisses me off because you know why? The people that say that money doesn't buy you happiness obviously does not have enough of it.
Or they have so much that it's just real easy for them to say that because they're still miserable.
I guess it could work that way, but I don't know. You give me $20 and watch me smile.
Yeah.
If I had a piss load of money that I wouldn't know what to. If I had Oprah money, okay. If I had Oprah money, I would find a way to use it and be happy with it. And if I had everything that I wanted, if I could buy no more but still had this money, I'd be donating like crazy. And that would give me some self-fulfilling. That would make me feel better about myself and my earnings. And to be honest, that would, to put a smile or, children's hospitals, stuff like that. That type of stuff. That would make me happy. Money, I have to have money in order to do that. If you have
money and you're not happy, you're a douchebag.
Yeah, you douche. Jerry the King Lawler once said, and is one of my favorite quotes of all time, the rich get richer, the poor get children.
Okay.
I don't know, it was random.
Okay. Last one. When you say something and somebody says, well, that's just your opinion.
That's irritating, but I think what bothers me, what would piss me off more is if someone asked me my opinion and then I told them and they're like, oh, well, then that's just your opinion. Like, no shit.
Well,
you
either
asked
way,
me
it's like,
for
no
it.
shit, Sherlock.
You asked me for it.
Opinion, right?
Yeah, that irritates me. I'm actually going to go off one more because there's one thing that really pisses me off, and I see this all the time. Grammar.
Oh my god.
Bad grammar.
Are you kidding me?
Your versus your. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E Y-O-U-R. Your. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. You are. As in you are a idiot if you don't know how to use your. With an apostrophe R-E.
There and where are two big ones I see all the time, too.
I don't understand it. And you know what? What irritated me the most? OSPW used to do this all the time. OSPW would have the poorest grammar on their flyers for their shows, on their website, on their, their pictures and whatever. They would, intentionally, I don't know about intentionally, but they would misspell names. Like Robert Ezekiel is E-Z-E-K-Y-O. It's Ezekiel. That's how it's spelled. They didn't know how to spell it, so instead of going to him and asking Zeke, how do you spell your last name? It was E-Z-E-E-K-I-O.
Come on.
And they put that on the website. Robert Ezekiel with 2 E's. Yeah, another wrestler by the name of Venomous. V-E-N-O-M-O-U-S. V-E-N-E-M-O-U-S-E. Venomous. And this was supposed to be like a professional organization. They're trying to come across as professional, and that just pisses me off when people like that, when people are supposed to be in higher, larger than life statuses. You don't see WWE making these grammars. You don't see the NFL making these grammar errors. You don't see the MLB, NBA, any of those professional organizations or professional players making asses of themselves grammatically.
I love when people will come back and they'll say, well, this is just Facebook. I didn't know it was English class. You're an idiot. I don't care if it's Facebook, Twitter, you're writing a little note to yourself. You're an idiot if you don't know how to use proper grammar that's that basic.
It is. And I just, that's probably the thing that pisses me off the most. It's because I see it so much, so. Okay. All right. Great segment. All right. When we come back, we will have story time with Mr. Perez, even though Mr. Perez doesn't know it yet. And Dawn's news we may or may not be able to use. This is Get Ready America right here on GearNetwork.com.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
Hey, podcast listeners, thanks for listening to this podcast here on the Gear Radio Network. And if you are on social networking, as many of you are, you can follow us, all the Gear Network happenings, on various platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at GERE Network. Search Gear Network. You can follow myself, John Cimino, a.k.a. JC Money, at the JC Money on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow Ryan Wolf, the host of Better Live Than Dead, at Wolf, SHC, WOLFE, SHC, as well as the Better Live Than Dead podcast on Facebook. Search Better Live Than Dead. Mr. LG Perez. That's right, the co-host of Better Live Than Dead. Mr. Perez you can follow on virtually every social networking platform known to man using @Mr. LG Perez. And of course you can follow all of our happenings, all of our podcasts, and do your Amazon shopping on GearNetwork.com. FanDuel. GearNetwork.com/FanDuel. FanDuel.
Ryan Wolf here, the host of the Better Live Than Dead podcast. Join my co-host Mr. Perez and myself as we talk the latest and greatest through the sports world. For the latest, check us out on Facebook.com/BLTD podcast and hear us each and every week exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
Gather round, kids. It's story time with Mr. Perez.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Mr. Perez. And it's story time with Mr. Perez, a special edition here on Get Ready America. Hey, Dawn, where's John?
He's off smoking a cigar, I think.
I know, 'cause I gave him one.
Well, then why would you ask me?
I don't know. Now, I have stories to tell, so Dawn, if you would please, why don't you give me a subject, anything you want to hear from a story perspective, because I've got a lot of stories that I can tell.
You know, I've never heard the one about when you lived in Orlando and you were bouncing at that club.
I bounced at this one club when I lived in Orlando, right? I used to bounce there every Wednesday, Thursday, and Monday, and some Saturdays. I would bounce there, right? And, like, these people would come in and they would be like, you know, trying to get in without showing their IDs, because it was a VIP club. Only the highest, like, people ever in life go to this club in Orlando.
And you can tell that by their ID?
You could tell that by their ID.
Gotcha.
And so I'm sitting there, right? And I'm just, you know, I got my arms folded because I look intimidate. And this dude walks by and was like, "Hey, you gonna let me in that door?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean? Let me see your ID." So he tries to say he's Justin Timberlake. I don't believe him. So I'm like, "Let me see your ID." He says, "I'm Justin Timberlake." And I said, "I don't believe you." Then he got up in my face. He started stepping to me and was like, "I'm going to dance all over your face. I'm Justin Timberlake." And I looked at him, and I got to be truthful with you, Dawn. I don't remember doing a jump kick to him, but I jump kicked him because back then I could throw.
Well, I find that hard to believe.
I throw a kick. I could throw a kick.
Okay.
I played soccer, and I kicked real good. But I threw a Pele kick.
Are you going to wrap this up, Mr. Perez?
I'm trying to tell a story.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just...
I threw a Pele kick.
Constraints.
I threw a Pele kick.
I don't even know what that is.
I kicked him.
Oh, okay.
And I knocked him out. And then Cameron Diaz shows up out of nowhere and was like, "You knocked out Justin Timberlake."
Because it must have been while they were dating.
That was when they were dating.
Mm-hmm. I mean, cry me a river, Justin.
Right, cry me a river. So that's the story about how I knocked out Justin Timberlake.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Good story.
Oh, hey, how's it going, everybody? Boy, Perez, where are you going? I must have missed a good story, judging by the look on your face.
Yeah.
What was the story about?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't tell you that.
Aw, damn it, I'm just going to have to listen to it.
You'll have to listen.
All right. Well, I would say that pisses me off, but it doesn't, because it's funny. So, how's it going, Perez?
Mildly funny.
Mildly funny. I know. Most of the stories are. No offense, Perez. All right, let's go to Dawn's news we may or may not be able to use. Go ahead, Dawn.
Okay, so let's start. I have a few stories here. So I'm going to start on a light note. A son allegedly decapitates his mother with an axe because she was nagging him.
That's a light note?
Okay, no, not really.
Jesus Christ.
Really? Go clean your room. You, right?
What's that sound effect again? What did he do? How did he get?
All right, enough with this. Okay, I don't do sound effects. John,
you just did. You just went.
Okay, next story. Jesus.
Sound effects are awesome.
Okay, Florida man. Now, okay, first off, if you saw this story, it says Florida man. This looks like a kid to me, like a little geeky high school kid, but whatever. They say man, so... Florida man arrested for getting naked at CVS and napping on dog beds. Got naked in the bathroom, went and grabbed himself some dog beds, and tried to take a nap in the CVS bathroom naked. Something tells me drugs may have been involved in this. I'm not sure about that, though.
Thank you, Florida.
Yep. Those were both Florida so far. So then we're going to move to Georgia. Upstanding Georgia, where the police chief is on administrative leave after shooting his wife on New Year's Day. Thank you.
Okay, wait, what's the story behind this?
Well, it really doesn't say. It just says he shot her one time, and that's really about as much of the story that's been released at this point because he's a police chief.
God damn it, woman! How dare you not fill up my glass?
And it is unclear if drugs or alcohol were involved at this time.
And his wife said this. Never mind.
Okay, so there's this other story that talks about this year in love gone wrong. I'm sorry, was I interrupting you?
No. They just the police chief's wife just said thank you, Florida.
Oh, okay. Well,
she's Chinese.
They're from Georgia, but okay.
Okay.
5 couples caught in very bad romances, and I'm not going to go through all 5 because honestly, some of them are just stupid. But there was one that I'll share with you. A man sets his girlfriend's vagina on fire and then yells at her for crying out in pain because of it. Now, if that's not love gone wrong, I don't know what is.
He set her vajayjay on fire, and so she cried, obviously, because that would be very painful.
Yep.
And he yelled at her?
He yelled at her for that, yeah. Apparently that was an issue for him.
Okay. 50 Omaha said hut.
And I think I will just finish up the news with this last one. Police in China. This is for you listeners in China.
Oh, hey. All right. I think I might have some people to talk to about this, but go ahead.
Police in China bust a major breastfeeding prostitution ring.
Wait a minute. A breastfeeding prostitution.
Correct. Police recently broke up a prostitution ring in Beijing where men would pay young mothers to breastfeed them. Yes, you read that right. Grown men breastfeeding. The fetish is referred to as lactophilia. And I mean, let's be real. Human breast milk is said to have a lot of healing properties. So maybe they just were looking at it from a health perspective.
That says, you son of a bitch, I want my breast milk, you effers.
For $9 a week or up to $125 a year, subscribers would gain access to a diverse selection of willing mothers.
Oh boy.
However, if they wanted actual sex, that's extra.
All right, very good. Good talk, Dawn. And was that it?
I think that's all the news I have today.
All right, thank you, Dawn, for the news you may or may not be able to use. And before we go ahead and take it home here, I've got some sports news you may or may not be able to use. Of course, as we all know, I am a Jets fan, Dawn. Mm-hmm. And the first few episodes, and I know this because of the botched effort of the best of episodes that I was trying to put together and failed miserably. But the first few episodes, I had a segment where I was just always talking about the Jets and how they were doing and how they weren't doing or whatever. And I believe in one of the segments I called my shot. And I also did it on Better Live Than Dead. Was that at the end of the season, Rex Ryan and General Manager John Nidzik were going to get canned. Mm-hmm. Last Monday was Black Monday in the NFL, and they got canned. So now the Jets have a bumbling millionaire owner in Woody Johnson, who has the greatest name in all of sports.
Yes.
and they have him. He hired mushmouth, marbled-mouthed Charlie Casserly to be a consultant. And, of course, Ron Wolf, former Packers general manager, who famously was going to draft Brett Favre to the Jets back in 1991 before the Falcons scooped him up. And then he ended up moving to the Packers and then traded for Brett Favre, and the rest is history. But so now he's hired them as consultants, and now they're going to look for a general manager, and they're going to look for a new head coach. And you would think that, they might look for somebody that, we're tired of having these types of seasons. We're not going to keep Rex Ryan, who I like Rex Ryan, and I really think he got hosed, especially this last year. But again, you've been there for 6 years. Your first 2 years, you took him to the AFC Championship game, and then the next 4 years, you missed the playoffs. Sooner or later, the axe is going to come down, but I do not think he had a fair shot the last year under general manager Idzik. But you would think that they would be looking for the next Bill Belichick, the next, Mike Tomlin, somebody like that kind of minded, that somebody offensive minded to help develop the offense, right? And then comes the news that the Buffalo Bills, who finished 9-7, second place in the AFC East for the first time in like 76 years. Mm-hmm. And their head coach, Doug Marrone, he had a 3-day opt-out clause when the ownership changed hands. He asked for an extension. Terry Pegula said no, and Doug Marrone said goodbye. Mm-hmm. Charlie Casserly is very high on Doug Marrone. He likes his style. He reminds me of a young Tom Coughlin, New York Giants head coach. So now, all of a sudden, ESPN, of course, because they like to get on the next big scoop, and they've been covering the Jets circus for the past 6 years, they're treating Doug Marrone as if he's like the second coming of Vince Lombardi. Doug Marrone to the Jets. He's being linked to Jets. So Doug Marrone, the former Bills head coach, who was there for 2 years, has already had an interview. As of press time, he's had an interview with the New York Jets. He's scheduled an interview with the Atlanta Falcons on Monday. Everybody who's anybody is saying that Doug Marrone is pretty much going to be the next head coach of the New York Jets. The guy who was the Buffalo Bills head coach.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know what I think about it, because I want to say it's good, but to be honest with you, I mean, the Bills finished 9-7, and say what you want about them, they have a good core around them. They have a good defense. Their offensive line, they finally upgraded them. They got good running backs. They got a breakout receiver in Sammy Watkins. They just have dog throwing the football around. And I really think that they were a good quarterback away from at least making a playoff run. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but they're certainly a playoff caliber team with what they have if they had a competent quarterback not throwing to the other team. Now, that being said, he's going to a Jets football team that has absolutely none of these pieces in place. Mm-hmm. So right. You're talking about, you're coming in, okay, best you have is right now, as of press time, you have the 6th round, the 6th pick overall in the NFL draft, okay? You're not going to get Marcus Mariota. You're not going to get Jameis Winston. Not that we would want Jameis Winston anyways because of his troubles and New York City being a big, big market city. That's like putting Johnny Football in that city with all those clubs and everything. He'd be getting drunk and passed out and coked up every week, but allegedly. But you're not going to get him. You're not going to get Amari or whatever that kid's name from Alabama, that good wide receiver. You're not going to get him. He's probably going to go 3 or 4. So now you're sitting at 6. What do you do with draft pick number 6 when there's nothing between there? There's nothing good. There's nothing good going there.
Well, I mean, really, if they had the number 1 draft pick, who are they going to pick up anyways? Another quarterback?
They would have absolutely picked up Marcus Mariota. They would have gone with Marcus Mariota from Oregon and started off on a brand new slate, new coach, new quarterback, try to develop him under this system, and hey, hope for the best. Hope you got yourself a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning. You know, those guys come around, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, they come around once in a blue moon. And the Jets just cannot. The closest we had was Chad Pennington. And unfortunately, he fell victim to numerous shoulder surgeries on his throwing arm, and he couldn't throw anymore. So that was the closest we've had since Joe Namath. And we all know how long that's been. But, oh, by the way, Rex Ryan scheduled an interview with the 49ers on Monday. And then also, I believe he's scheduled to meet with the Falcons on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week either. So I'm going to be following Rex too to see where he lands. And I liked him. I really liked him as a head coach. I got his book. Actually, you bought me his book.
I did.
And I read it cover to cover, and I enjoyed it. And I don't read books. I read documentaries or whatever. And his was awesome. I liked it. So Rex Ryan, you're not listening, I'm sure, but if by chance you are, or somebody who knows you is, best of luck to you. Thank you for your years of service. You will always be a New York Jet.
I'm sure he appreciates your well wishes.
He doesn't care. He's got a lot of money. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He also...
Money cannot buy you happiness.
That's right. We've already established that. Douche. All right. We're ready to take it home?
Let's take it home.
All right. Let's cue the music, please. All right. So, not bad for a makeshift episode here. This was supposed to be the best of show, and it kind of didn't happen because, well, yeah, I dropped the ball. It's just... personal opinion, I don't think that the first 3 or 4 episodes were okay, but there wasn't anything that really stood out.
I'm pretty sure it was in the first 3 episodes that we talked about the whole condom thing.
Okay, well, yes, the condom and Ebola.
So, I mean, but whatever.
The condom and Ebola thing, but
it didn't happen, so you are just going to have to stay tuned. Maybe March when we hit a year, perhaps.
For what? A best of?
Best of.
We could do that.
A compilation of all the Gear Network show best of together. I don't know.
Well, by the time that March rolls around or anything, we're gonna be. Let's see. This is the 11th episode, so we'll be almost 20 episodes deep by then. So we'll have a whole lot to choose from. Huh? All right, this is a copyrighted podcast of the Gear Radio Networks, and any rebroadcast or reproduction without the express written permission of the Gear Radio Networks is strictly prohibited. The executive producer is sitting to my left is one Mrs. Dawn Semino. And hey, all the music you hear on this podcast and on the commercials you can get via GearNetwork.com's partnership with Amazon. It's GearNetwork.com/Amazon. Click on the banner or click on the link at the top of the page, and you can choose whatever song you want. They have quite a bit of them up there. You download the MP3s. It's dirt cheap. It's awesome. Check it out. Any song you hear here, you can get there. And that's it for me. That's all I got. Dawn, you have anything else?
I have nothing else.
All right. So we will talk to you next week. We'll have a better podcast, I am sure. And so yeah.
If not, I might have to get John drunk first.
She's gonna have to get me.
Trust me, that's funny.
Then you'll really find out what pisses me off. All right, so this is John for Dawn saying so long, everybody.
Good night now.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.